What's up, John Sonovis here. Just finished my run. I thought I'd do a video talking about a concept I don't think I've really discussed that much, which I've talked about this idea of external validation and not seeking external validation. By the way, if you haven't seen the videos on that, you want to check them out. I guess they'll be on this side, but I think I've got a playlist on that because it's such an important topic. As so many people, they go through life and they're seeking external validation, which is to say that you're looking for approval from other people. You're seeking to please people. You're coming off as needy, especially for you guys. That's definitely something that you want to avoid doing because it's behavior that is not attractive at all. So, question of when you're getting it, which is also problematic, right? So this today because I was getting, I'm doing my run today and I'm getting much better in shape again, getting back down to the low body fat percentages. I got a little fat over the summer, which is kind of back in shape and kind of getting, having some wins after kind of a period of not very good wins. I started to get a lot of external validation from a lot of people, right? A lot of people like, oh, you're looking good, just a lot of good things, a lot of praise and stuff. And it's because what ends up happening, and you guys have probably heard me talk about this before, and it's actually caused a lot of depression that I've gone through at different points, which was addicted to that external validation. And then what happens from there forward is that you sort of crave that, right? So it's hard to live without that. And the thing is that you have these expectations that are sort of self-imposed, but you feel like you have to live up to what is causing you to get that external validation from other people. So you guys, subscribe and watching these videos on YouTube, I feel somewhat of an obligation to live up to the bulldog mindset, to the image, that I've portrayed here. And I do, and to some degree, don't get me wrong, that's a good thing. But the impetus for doing that it needs to come internally. It needs to be intrinsically motivated. The same way I was talking about internal and external validation, and how, in life you got to get some internal validation, right? You know what you need to fix, you need to work on. And when you achieve certain milestones, you're going to reach that, and you're going to feel like you're internally validated, which is good, right? But the whole impetus for doing what you do, for maintaining what you do, needs to come from you, from your own approval of yourself and what you're doing. Thinks is good, right? You might get praised for something. It's not your best or up to your standard. You have to have your own standards, right? That you don't look out to other people and what they think in order to determine what your standard is, right? Your standard for you is the bar that you set, and that bar should be, constantly rising, right? In life, you can have those outward appearance of being very successful, of being at the height of your career or life, and internally, that's not the case because you're not living up to that particular standard. So, obviously, to have good things happen, to have people like you, to be popular, to have success in life as other people view it, and to have that kind of praise. But it's also a poison because it becomes addictive and you start to form your identity around it. So for this is to always, trust your own judgment, right? Is to always ask yourself the question, ask yourself the question of what do I want? What are my standards? What do I consider to be good, right? And you judge yourself based on those standards, right? And I'm going to say, did I do my best work? How do I feel about myself? How do I feel about? And the other piece of this is like you reward yourself not for results, but for taking actions, right? So if you're seeking external validation for results, right? Essentially, you do something, you're expecting praise from people, right? For you guys, going out, trying to talk to girls and that, you're going out there and you're expecting a reaction, right? You want the girl to like you, right? You want the other person to like you. That comes off as needy, and it's because it's requiring external validation. Instead, you should reward yourself for going out there and taking initiative, taking action, whether you fail or not, or whether you succeed or not, right? So out there and you put in the workout, if you put in the effort, okay? If you go out there and you face discomfort, right? You don't control the outcome, you don't control that result, but if your motivation, right, if your whole reward system is based on just doing the thing, not on achieving the result, then you're going to have that not only intrinsic motivation, but that internal validation, which is going to keep you going, and it's not going to be something that is going to be able to be shaken by someone else. So, real good. If you haven't already, check out my series on Seneca's letters to Lucilius. It's a Stoic philosophy, and this is kind of the idea, right? I mean, if you are completely internally motivated, internally rewarded and validated, then whatever happens externally is going to have very little effect on you, right? It's not going to shake you, right? The people that are shaken are the people that have foundations that are built on things that are external, on other people, on money, on finances, on the goodwill of other people that you can't always control. But if everything that you build your life on is based on what you can control, which is you, which is how you feel about yourself, which is your standards, your approval of yourself, and that's what you use to judge is how you take the action, not what the result is, then there's not much in life that can shake you. So anyway, that's all I got for you today. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button below, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.